Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting tutorial in our Power BI solution series. Uh, Today we are going to learn how to create a custom stack column chart. Now the default column chart in Power BI is pretty handy, but when you need to show some multiple measures over time, that's where things get tricky. Instead of displaying your data as distinct subsets, it just adds everything up. Now, the default column chart is useful when showing values over time with different category. Like if you want to show sales by region over time, then you can use that. But in my case, I need to track the trend of jobs versus related offers that we receive. So the default column chart is not, useful in such scenario. What it does is instead of showing it as a related measure, the chart just sums them up, and it's not ideal for if you're trying to tell a clear story with your data. So if you've got a report where you need to display multiple somewhat related measures over time, this video is for you. Without further ado, let's jump right into how we can build a custom stat column chart that does exactly what we need. Okay, so I'm in my Power BI report and I have two measures, jobs and offers, that I want to show over month. And this is how the default, stack column chart shows basically. So I have my jobs over here and my offers. Job is around 869 for January, and for offers we have 566. But if you notice something, the offers is on top of jobs, and basically what the single column for Jan 24 is saying that it is summing those two, and it's telling me it's around 1500. Right now, if someone just goes and sees, then they might be a little bit confused as to what I'm trying to showcase here. If you just see by the numbers, that's fine. But if you see by chart, it doesn't tell you exactly the right information. Okay, so let's just see how we can create a custom stacked column chart which tells or which portrays your data properly, right? So let me reuse this. I'm just gonna keep it aside for this chart, and let me bring in another stack column chart and put my month here in the x-axis and my measure in the y-axis. So I mean, most of you might have already guessed. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine two column charts to portray the visual that I want. The only challenge here will be to match the y-axis for both the charts so that their values are shown properly in that y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to create another chart, and this will be for my offers. Right, so if you see here, offers, the y-axis range is still 800, whereas for jobs it's around, let's say, 1300, 200. Okay. So basically we need the max of both, right, to create a single y-axis range. Okay, let me quickly format some of the things over here. Let me enable the data. Let's change the column of the offers to red. Let the column be blue and just enable the data. Also, I don't need to show the title for the uh, x-axis and y-axis since we already know what they are. So let me just remove the title. Okay. Now, as I said, we just need a single range which, accompanies both the column chart. So let's create a measure for that single range which checks the max from both the table and gives us the max value. Okay, so I'm going to rename it as range for jobs and offers, right? And I'm going to initialize a variable. Now the first variable will be checking the max range for jobs. I'm gonna encapsulate into a calculate function, and what I need since max value for jobs, so let me use a max x function. I'm not using max because what it does is it just gives me a max value from the jobs table, right? I don't need that. I need it based on, it has to check based on the month year, whichever is, it has to first categorize it based on the month wise, and then it has to give the max value based on that. So max x, and then I'm going to do values. I'm going to use the month year here to return a single column and the jobs table. Okay, what now it's doing is it's basically getting me the max, iterating the max function throughout this month year column, and giving me the, you know max values whichever month has the max value, right? So in this example, from Jan to July, the max value is 1151, so that's what I'm supposed to get. Okay, now let's round it up as well, because I just don't want 1151. We will It will look odd in your y-axis, so let's round it up to basically a nearest 100. So for that you just need to put -2. It will round you up to the nearest 100. So now I have the max range for jobs. Let's just check that. Let me save it, and let's quickly test that what it brings us. Okay, so nearest 100, it's giving me 1200, which is exactly what I need. Let's create another variable. Oops. Max range offers. Same thing, I'm gonna round it up here, and max x values, month here, and then offers the measure. Okay, let me just close that. -2 for rounding up to 100. Close that, close the calculate, and let's return the max range for offers and see what it's returning. So maximum is 713, rounding up to nearest 100 is 800. Cool. So now we both have the max from the jobs and offers. So let's return the maximum value from either of them, right? So whichever is max from either of them, just give me that. So max jobs comma max range offers. So I'm just going to return whichever has the maximum, and that would be used for our range. Okay, so to put that, we are going to go to formatting, and we are going to go to y-axis. Now minimum will remain 0 by auto itself, so let's just change the maximum field value and the measure that we created. Okay, it's looking good. So now we have both of them. Let's just go to some formatting again. We are gonna disable the background so that it's transparent. And there we have it. Now we just need to align them properly. Okay, so okay, also remove the title. Cool, there you have it. It's properly aligned. If you really need the title, you can put it in a text box if you really need to. But I don't want to put the title here. I'm just gonna put the legend. So let me use Windows dot and bring in the blue dot for jobs, and the Windows dot will give you the icons or the emoji of. Cool. Also, one more thing, let me group them together so that any kind of uh, formatting and movement doesn't get affected later on. Okay, jobs by offer and okay, cool. Then now it's like a single chart. Oops, I forgot to group the uh, text box. Let me just put it right here. Okay, now it just acts as a single column chart. So there you have it. I mean, this way you can clearly depict what it's trying to showcase. Okay, over here we have jobs ranging, showing the correct range in visual as well, and also the offers, which is pretty accurate and tells you exactly what you need to know. Well, that's all for today. If you like the video, you know, uh, like click on that like button, share it, and do subscribe the channel for more exciting videos.